You are listening to ProveText, a Glossa House podcast exploring Scripture with Dr. T. Michael W. Halcomb and Dr. Frederick J. Long. Welcome and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to ProveText. I'm Michael Halcomb, and in this episode, I'm bringing you a new sub-series, a mini-series, a new segment, and just as we've been doing with our Greek, we want to learn to build our Hebrew vocabulary, and it's a marathon, like it's a slow game. So we're going to be looking, just like we did with Greek, at Hebrew roots, and boy, there are a lot of them. But there are some great resources out there to deal with the shorashem, the roots in Hebrew. I'm going to continue using, as I often do on the podcast, stepbible.org. And so I'm going to go ahead and open that up and share it with those who are watching rather than listening. All right, I got that on the screen here. And I am going to set my keyboard to Hebrew, and when I go into the search in stepbible.org, I can just type in my desired root. So in this case, I just want to use the root av. So I'm going to type in my aleph and then my bet, and you'll see that I get a host of options that pop up here. Now, when you have that, what's often described as like a placeholder, that aleph, depending on the vowel pointings that the aleph might have under it, the nikodem, it can take on a different sound and a completely different meaning. So you can have an av, you can have an ev or an ev, you can have an oved or an ov, you can have an eve. So there's all sorts of things that the vowel pointings can change, but really what I want to focus on here is just this simple form of, and I'll go ahead and click the first one here. You can see that has to do with father. So the first time this occurs, for example, is Genesis 2:24. We have at aviu, and then here we have avi in Genesis 4:20. We have avi again. These avis are going to be all over the place. His father, avi, aviu, avihem, and so on and so forth. You'll notice that the both letters, the aleph and the bet, have nikodem of vowels under them, but the bet, the second letter, does not have the dagesh. There's no dageshim, there's no dots inside. Otherwise, this would be pronounced like ab. And for those of you who are familiar with Jesus Christ from the cross, abba, right? You know that Semitic form has the connotation of father. It's not this sort of sappy dad or daddy thing, anything like that. It's just another Semitic form of father. So av, ava, and there are many different forms that can be attached in front of, after this, suffixes and those sorts of things. So we have the av, there's a preposition on the front, and here we have avenu with these different suffixes, and so there's lots of things that av can be working with. But again, it has to do with father, right? So just remember, if you need a mnemonic device, that abba from Jesus' cry on the cross. All right, I'm going to stop there, but I hope that is enlightening to you, and we'll just keep, again, slogging away at this and pushing through and building our Hebrew vocabulary repertoire. All right, hope that helps.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? Glossa House can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, Glossa House offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. Glossa House, language resources for the global community.